Well, folks, thank you so much again for joining us for Season 2 of Process is Everything. My name is Tracy Goo, and I'm sitting with my buddy, Mr. Blake Cook. What's up, buddy?
Season 2?
This is kind of a Season 2, yeah. We took a little hiatus.
Is this episode 1? Season 2?
No, this is actually episode 10, I think.
Okay.
We'll
but season 2, episode 1.
Yeah, we can go that way. How's your golf game? You doing any better? I mean, I know you've hired the shaman, you've hired golf clinic, you're going to golf clinics. A lot of money, new courses.
Yeah, pay more for anger management.
Well, those are all the same, right?
Yeah.
We have a special guest. The reason you guys logged in to listen or watch for our one viewer, that's Blake's mom, is Miss Ashley Goss, like a boss. So glad you're here. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Man, we're thrilled that you're here. Now, you are everybody, if you don't know Striplings, you ought to know Striplings.
Yeah.
So tell us what Striplings is. It's more than just a general store, but they're everywhere.
So Striplings is a specialty meat market. It is a general store, but it's a modern day general store. So we have everything from the custom cut, self-serve, meat counters to a hot food bar. Mm-hmm. We have home decor and gifts that are specially curated. We have grocery items, just conventional grocery items, and you can gas up your boat or your truck heading to work. So a little bit of all of it.
So how many stores are out there?
Right now we have 6 total locations. Mm-hmm. And 3 of those are franchise locations. 3 of them are corporate run. And then we have a processing plant in Moultrie, and that's where we produce all the product, sausage, jerky, barbecue, Brunswick stew, all those things that make Striplings.
Man, that's great. And more are on the way. More stores are on the way.
That's the plan.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
I think people don't realize the volume of sausage that comes out of this place. And your plant's in Moultrie, right?
Yes.
So this is like, you're raising the pigs. What's that process like kind of from the beginning to end? Because I always say that Stripling sausage always tastes better. I can 100% pass a taste test, a sausage taste test.
No doubt.
That's good. Mm-hmm. So we do work with local farmers. We have local farmers that raise the hogs for us, and we're very aware of what they're being fed. You can really tell a difference if something's off in the feed with the quality of the product, so we really watch that. And we do have skilled meat cutters in Moultrie that are breaking down those hogs. As soon as they come to the plant, they go through our abattoir and then onto our floor, and then sausage within hours. And so that process is a little bit different than most commercial sausages. We do what's called hot boning the meat. So that meat is very warm when they've added the seasoning and mixed it, so you get a much finer texture, and the flavor permeates the meat a lot better. And that's really all there is to it. It's just very expensive and very labor intensive. So that's why most companies will not do it and no longer practice that. But we feel like that's what our entire business has been built on, so we can't sacrifice that.
And I think your customers know that and appreciate it. And I don't mind, personally don't mind paying a little more for that premium product.
It is better, and it does taste better. We don't have all the added preservatives, so it does have a very short shelf life, which also adds to the expense of the product. But we're able to really capitalize that on, inside the stores. It's a fresh product, and then we do smoke it, and those type things allow us to prolong the life a little bit. But what you find in the grocery store that's been sitting there for 20, 30 days, ours wouldn't last that long.
So if I walk into let's say the 300 store, I walk into the door, hang a right, and there's the sausage on the, what do we call that thing?
The doggeroo.
The doggeroo.
You guys love that.
I should know this. So that sausage that's right there, that is, how many weeks ago or how long ago was just a couple of days
wow.
ago.
That is crazy.
That is crazy.
You don't see that anywhere.
Mm-hmm. So all amazing. Of that is freshly made, but none of it's held over.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of volume are we talking about? I mean, y'all are doing...
We make around 600,000 pounds of sausage a year.
Oh, wow.
But that's the only storefronts are our stores. So that's only production for our company. So a lot of these commercial places are making, millions probably of pounds, but that's being sold on a national level through any conventional grocery store. So we feel like the volume that we're producing and putting through our stores is significant for the business that we have. So.
But they are, or those big commercial plants, they are not going through the process that
not
you're
at all.
doing.
No, they're coming. A lot of them are just production facilities that are receiving in cold whole cuts of pork. So they're getting in trimmings of pork, that sort of thing. So it's all cold meat, and then they're just grinding it down. That also allows some of our direct competitors are able to make sausage in the store. They can make it in smaller amounts of sausage, like 50 pounds or 100 pounds, because they're not taking a whole hog and breaking it down. They can just throw a couple of Boston butts in a grinder kind of thing. But it just doesn't have the same quality and care. I mean, we just have really skilled meat cutters that are able to utilize our whole hog goes into the sausage. So that's important too. So
now for our listener, I really want to get down into the pig pen here.
Okay.
What does an average hog weigh when it
comes to us?
When it comes to you,
around 300 pounds is kind of the sweet spot. That's not too fatty, but not too lean.
I've been told that for myself, so I've got some work to go.
So that's what we like.
Good to hear. So that renders down to how many pounds of product?
About 180. Now, my husband's probably listening to this and thinking, how does she even?
Right. No.
I think about 180 pounds.
You're the one with the microphone, so we're believing you. Okay. I understand there's some new technology at the Moultrie plant, and that's what Clint's doing today, as a matter of fact. What's going on over there?
Installing a boiler, yes. It's really exciting. Her spoiler out of Coolidge is installing a new boiler today. So it's pretty exciting at the plant. They'll have nice hot water to sanitize and clean and all that good thing.
Shout out to her boiler.
That's right. Yeah. That's great. Now, how is a pork rind made? Not in a boiler. I know that.
No. So there's two different. We have two different pork rinds, right? You have the pork rind that most people know, which is a real poofed pork rind that you get at a grocery store. Those are usually made from dehydrated pellets. It's like fat pellets that they dehydrate. Then you also have what's called like a wash pot skin. That's what we produce at the plant. Okay. So those
are the better ones.
That's the ones. Yeah. So we're actually taking the skin and the fat and we fry it and package it, at the stores. And then people take it home. And once they get it home, they'll refry it or put it in a really hot oven and it helps it to poof. So that's the difference. Poof is a very
for any of our keto viewers out there,
telling you what, buddy,
we got pork rinds
straight off the Striplings fryers.
Right. What is the most popular sausage that you sell? Flavor of sausage that you sell?
I would say our medium smoked.
Medium smoked.
It has a little bit of heat, but not too much, and it has that hickory smoke flavor to it. So that's pretty much our popular. I mean, everyone comes in getting the Lincoln sausage.
How many varieties do y'all sell?
Well, for years, we only had mild, medium, and hot.
Oh, really?
I mean, that was it.
Okay.
And the hot is hot. But then after that, people started requesting. So we did jalapeno cheese. And
I love the jalapeno cheese. I wish
I had 4 of them
and
right now.
It's really good. The jalapeno cheese does really well. But then we also have a onion and cheese. We have a bratwurst. Right now, with Mardi Gras season, we have an andouille in store, and we also have an Italian. So, yeah,
growing that product.
Are y'all only selling to the communities where these stores are, or are you selling beyond that?
The stores, obviously, are the communities where they are, but then we also have mail order now, and so, or we have for the last 15, 20 years, but we. It's really been an extension of service. It's not something that we've gone out and built nationally yet. The customer base knows about it, and they, will call us and we'll send out gifts at Christmas to their clients and things like that. We have a lot of people that have moved off from their hometown of, Warwick or Cordell or whatever, and so they order a lot, and they always call and tell us the story of how they've always had this growing up, and so those are fun stories. But the mail order business is doing well. We ship to all states all across the U.S., so it's been good for us. Really, the southeast corner of the country is our, pretty much the best area for our mail order.
So anyone can go online right now and order from the website.
Yes.
That side of the business has really grown. Tell me how that worked. I mean, this is kind of after you kind of took the reins and made you guys a major player in the corporate gifting space.
Well, so going back to what I said earlier about how we make our sausage, when it was 18 years ago, my dad called and said that the plant in Moultrie was going to close if we did not take it over, and that's who was killing our hogs at the time. And we didn't have a choice. But if we're going to keep making our sausage the way we make it, he needed us to close up shop where we were and to move to South Georgia and take over the plant. And so we had this tremendous plant that we were only making sausage for 2 stores. And so, of course, the plant was just bleeding, and we had to figure out something to do. And so we started our wholesale side of the business, where we now wholesale our beef jerky throughout the United States. There's like around 300 small shops, that have the jerky in stock. Occasionally we'll get picked up, like Kroger recently did a Georgia grown section, and we were in that section, that sort of thing.
That is cool.
But that was one thing that we grew. And then the next one was we developed the website. And so the website allowed us to get the sausage and product into hands of more people, like the ones that have moved off, or people that are wanting to send it for client gifts. And then once 1 or 2 people gave us the opportunity and we sent out those gifts, their customers received it, and then just built lists from there. So
that's awesome.
It's been great.
And you can ship anywhere.
Certain
products, right?
All products we ship refrigerated. So if it's within a 2-day shipping range, it can go ground. Outside of a 2-day range, we expedite.
Now, take me back to the call you got from your dad that says, all right, pull it back. We're calling everybody home. Right. Come on in. Now, were you still at Eugene? You went to the University of Georgia, right?
I did go to Georgia.
And that's where you met Clint?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We had just moved to Buford. Clint was a high school teacher and a coach, and he had been in a program that he loved, that he grew up in Rome, Georgia, but it wasn't a winning program. And
win in Rome.
Yes. Sorry. So he got the opportunity to interview at Buford High School, which, if you know anything about high school sports,
is a winning program.
It's a winning program. Yeah. And so he was asked to come and be a part of that. Now, he was an assistant of an assistant, but he got the opportunity, and we were young, so he thought it was a good place to be. And so we were there and excited to be there. But Clint, I guess, had just expressed he loved being in the field, and he loved the kids and that aspect of it. But he also taught honors math, so he was in the classroom, as a teacher day in and day out, and he didn't enjoy that as much.
That's tough.
Yes, so he had expressed interest to my parents if there was ever a time, he would be interested. So my dad took him up on it.
But y'all never look back. That was a great decision.
Yeah, I mean, it was his decision to make. I did not, I just knew he would miss that atmosphere. I mean, because it's a lot. When you're in a town like Buford, everybody knows who the coaches are. You go out to dinner and everybody's speaking to you. The kids, I mean, to this day, even though he hasn't coached now for 18 years, we can go to Rome to visit his family, and people will stop at the table and say coach.
And call him coach.
Yeah, stuff like that. So it's good. But now we have 3 boys, and so he spends all his time at the rec fields and the Y fields and that sort of thing.
Now, do the boys help out with any of the operation at all, or they?
They do. I mean, like during the summers, our oldest packaged jerky all last summer, and let us know how monotonous that job was, but he did it and did a good job. Our middle one is more, I would say, more interested in livestock and that sort of thing, so he has a little bit more interest. He does a lot of things with FFA. He's done like the meat judging competitions, and he just worked on a big project where he talked about the processes of how all that works, and the inspectors that are on site and that sort of thing. So, but they're all a part of it in some capacity. I mean, my nephew and niece, they'll sometimes go to the stores and stock coolers or that sort of thing. So
now, where do you spend your day? Are you down at the plant? Or are you at the stores? Are you kind of bouncing all around?
I'm all around. I travel a lot between our stores, and then with the franchise locations, I'm in and out of those stores, meeting with them when needed, and but mainly day to day, I'm going to and from our stores in Cordell and Perry.
And you guys employ how many people across stores and the packing plant?
For our own corporate stores and the packing plant, we're probably at around 100 employees. If you include the franchise locations, it's around 250, 260 total employees.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
Man.
So,
How did y'all decide to, I mean, because y'all have really blown up and you've started this almost a sausage cult, which I love.
Sausage Nation.
I love to be a part of a sausage cult, but what made you decide to expand into other products? Because when you walk into the store, it's not just sausage and these products. You have a ton of SKUs. When did you decide to do that, and why did you decide to really open up to a lot of other things?
So my parents took over the sausage. It was called the Sausage Kitchen originally, and my great grandfather had a grocery store, so he had all the SKUs, But his son James really only liked the meat market, so he built the meat market on the family farm. And my parents continued to farm after he died, but took over the Sausage Kitchen. And at that time, it was really just sausage and cuts of pork, and that was it. And my dad, I guess there was a lot of farming debt. Jimmy Carter was president, interest rates were high. Mm-hmm. And so Dad decided to do the Sausage Kitchen full time. And so, of course, Mom joined in. And when you have a female come on board, there's, the pretty things started happening, right? We got jellies, we got flowers out front, mm-hmm. fresh vegetables, that sort of thing. So that was when the first change happened. And then when we moved and built the larger location, that's when it became the general store. So that was in 1991 that it came full circle and back to a full line of groceries too.
Wow. Did you ever see yourself coming back?
I don't know. I mean, I've always been proud of the company.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I grew up literally next door. It wasn't even 50 yards from the house I grew up in. Mm-hmm. And so I was there. I shadowed my grandfather my whole life. And so I was at the store when it opened, and we would cook, pieces of sausage and eat it with white bread and mustard. And then we would put on a big pot of peas with a bunch of ham hock in it, and then we would go do things on the farm and come back at lunch and eat the peas. And say, on days that they would break down the hogs, and I would be back there in the back watching, and I would stir sausage and watch my grandfather make souse meat, like that kind of thing. I even took my third grade class on a field trip to the store.
Nice.
On sausage making day. And I laughed. Some of my friends are like, I'm still traumatized by that situation. But I thought it was great.
It was normal to you.
Yeah, it's all I ever knew. And so when I went to Georgia, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I met Clint. Mm-hmm. And so everything changes when you meet someone. And I was a marketing major, and we did live in the Atlanta area to begin with, and I thought that would be what I did for a while. Mm-hmm. But, things change, and they needed us, and we came home, and then it's just been all hands on deck.
So we've known you for years, and we know that it's very important that you guys keep the family feel, but you've been able to keep that through not only your owned and operated stores, but your franchise stores. It still feels like, oh, yeah, Ashley owns that store, even when you're not there day to day. Why is that important to you guys to keep that family feel even while you're scaling and doing this mass service to the whole country?
Well, honestly, I mean, that's what you're selling, right? You're selling this whole idea of this lifestyle, mm-hmm. This modern general store that you can go to and it makes you feel good. It's part of your family's traditions. When you wake up on Christmas morning, you've got breakfast casserole and it's that sausage, or you all gather for 4th of July and everybody's going to run by and get steaks before they show up, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And it dawned on me how much that meant to people, that all these things that I've taken for granted that are just part of our life, that we've always lived, but these were things that resonated with people and they felt just like we did. And so I just keep repeating that message, and it was important for the franchise stores to understand that too, that when people come here and shop, they're not just running into a gas station kind of thing. They're coming here because they like what they're walking into. They want to feel that same thing that they feel or remember feeling when they used to visit the store in Cordele or the Lake Blackshear or whatever.
It's usually the third generation that messes everything up.
Yes, I'm trying really hard.
And you've done a fantastic job in not doing that. But I feel like every time I talk to you, you have a pretty clear vision. I'm curious to see, what is the vision for the future, maybe for the next 5-10 years? Do you see this passing down, to your kids taking over the store? What does the next 5-10 years look like to you?
We would really like to grow the mail order. I think there's a lot of potential there that we haven't tapped yet. And then if we do continue to expand stores, we really want to do more of our corporate-owned stores. We feel like the franchises have given us tools that we didn't have to begin with, confidence that we may not have had, and to be able to expand in that way. But I see the kids, some of them coming back. I mean, between my sister and I, there's 6 of them that can find their place. We were laughing. My middle one that I was talking about a while ago that's in FFA and all that, we told him, we're like, we just need you to go and learn refrigeration. If you'll just go and learn refrigeration,
you'll save us $1 million a year.
Yes, we will employ you immediately. That's awesome. I think they can all find their place, but I also want them to, encourage them to go too, if they need to or want to.
So you guys distribute your products straight. I mean, you own your own trucks. You're sending them out to the stores. What's that schedule like?
We have Rick. He's our truck driver, and his son Andrew, and they're on the road 5 days a week. So Mondays sometimes they don't run, but 5 days a week they're running to the various stores. So it's been good. Rick's real lively, so he always makes it a good time when he shows up with his deliveries.
Well, having done due process at your store, we were able to meet a lot of these people, and you have some really amazing employees. What do you think is the key to attracting these people? And I know some of them have been there for a long, long time.
Yeah.
What do you think the key is to attracting these people? Because a lot of small businesses right now are really struggling to find and retain employees. I think y'all do a great job. What do you think the key to success is there?
Well, like everyone else, we have had our struggles, but what I was saying earlier about the buy-in on just the overall traditions and culture and the family aspect of it, we really want them to know who that they can come to if there's a problem at the stores. Mine and Clint and my sister Lindsay, our phones are always on. We are very accessible to them. It's not a corporate feel. A lot of decisions are made on the fly because that's just how we have to do it at times. But we're very open to communication with all of them. I think that's important, even though we've got, the 3 different stores I'm running in between and the 100 employees. They're all very familiar with who we are and what we're doing and what our ultimate goals are. But we have struggled just like anyone else with certain positions in the company. But like you said, we also have people that have been with us for 25, 30 years or more. So that's been great too.
Do you think that, like many small businesses, that the pandemic affected you in any way, and how did it affect you?
Well, employment has probably been the most difficult aspect of COVID. We were able to keep our doors open throughout because we were considered essential. So we did not have the financial burden that some of the other companies did. We were able to, just continue on. But we did see, we had employees that were fearful, or we had employees that took advantage of certain situations where they wouldn't have to come to work.
It happens.
It happens. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, coming out of it, just the constant pay rate game that everybody's been playing and all of that's been challenging. But we saw a lot of supply issues, of course, during COVID with, and even now, you can walk in our store and we'll have, holes on the shelves where something didn't come in or wasn't available that week or whatever. We fought that a lot. We have really good vendors through our meat distributors that really kept us in line when everybody was running out of chicken and ground beef. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Oh, yeah.
We had it in stock. So that was good, and we worked really hard to maintain those relationships so that we can continue that the whole time.
Yeah, and I've got to take out a second mortgage to buy eggs now.
I was just thinking, what happened to you guys during the great egg shortage of 23?
We have them, but just like everybody else, they cost an arm and a leg.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So how many SKUs do you have at the store? I mean, approximately. Y'all have a lot of items. I've been in there from the jellies and the sauces, the rubs and all that stuff. How many SKUs do you have total?
I would say 2,000, something like that. I mean, that's a rough estimate. But we've got fresh produce, so we have all the produce, all frozen items. We have convenience items, whereas most grocery stores won't have. We've got doors and doors of just single serve Cokes and that sort of thing. So we've got a lot of candy and just everything.
What's your favorite thing that y'all sell at the store?
My favorite thing, the meat market is my. Our food bar is great, but I do love all the gifts that we bring in. They all joke and call it Ashley's Gift Barn, which I'm fine with because It looks great.
What are the trends in what? I mean, I know you got your finger on the pulse of what's popular in groceries, and we were talking about before we started the show about a grocery reset. What's a grocery reset?
So for the last 30 years, we've been with a great grocery vendor. They're really great, and they've helped us build our business. But just like any other relationship, their model has sort of gone one way and ours has gone the other. We still have a relationship. We still get a lot of our products through them and work with them on a daily basis, but we've picked up a new grocery distributor, and that grocery distributor has a little bit more access to a little bit higher end, maybe not higher end, but more specialty, small batch made vendors, and they also have trendy, all the stuff on social media that gets picked up, all of a sudden becomes, they have access to all that stuff. And so between the two of them, we're able to preserve like the Southern classic things that people like Arnett's cornmeal, that's something that we have to have on our shelf. And then, but also able to get, grab and go meals or walking tamales. We ordered some walking tamales the other day, like that sort of thing.
That was Blake's nickname in high school.
Yeah, walking tamales.
Yeah.
Whenever we travel anywhere, people know Striplings. And I guess, a lot of people drive through that way. Maybe they're going, north to Atlanta or whatever. What do you think most people think of? Because I know what they say. What do you think most people say when they think about Striplings?
It's a lot of them think of it as like a designated stop because they know they can, get a good snack, go to clean restrooms, that sort of thing, load up their coolers if they're headed to the beach, whatever, that sort of thing. That store on Highway 300 in Cordele, it is definitely a flagship location for a lot of people. And I don't think that I was very aware of all of that until I went to college, and people would say, like, where are you from? And, I would say where I was from, and then they would talk about, there's this place we stop every year on the way to the beach or whatever. Then it like dawned on me how many people knew our family business and had been shopping with us. But prior to that, I don't think I really had a very good grasp on that,
Y'all got to get down. Are y'all in Florida? Yeah.
I mean, we have some places that have like the jerky and stuff, but we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I think of when we talk to other people. It's the first thing they say is jerky. We talked a lot about sausage, but the jerky's special as well.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's laced with something.
Yeah, it makes you just need more.
And you have to come back for some
more. And I'm
more.
okay with it, right?
Yeah.
But tell me about the jerky process, because it's so much tastier. It's got a better texture. I can't explain it. Most jerky feels like it's so dry. You get like a Jack's Links or something like that. It tastes not fresh, but yours tastes different.
So our jerky, again, the guys in Moultrie hand trim all those.
Wow.
Cuts, and it's all cut into strips, so it's whole pieces of beef, and then it has a dry rub. It's not injected, so there's a dry rub on all of it, and then we hang they hang each piece on a smoke rack, and it smokes. It varies in when smoke supply and when the temperatures increase and decrease through like 5 hours, and most commercial jerkies are dehydrated or they are like ground and processed and then pressed back together. And so that's the main thing. Ours is a whole strip of beef that's gone through a smoking process to create the drying effect. And that leaves a lot of the texture there that you don't get otherwise. And there's no preservatives. So again, if you open it, it will mold over a few days if you're, but that usually doesn't happen.
No time at my house.
Y'all take so much time and care with your products.
Yes.
That has to affect the top line, right?
Yes.
It has to be more expensive.
It is.
And do you ever think about, man, if I really just did a different way, I could make a little bit more money? What are your thoughts on that? And Clint and the owners of the company, what do y'all think about that on a day-to-day basis? And do y'all ever make those adjustments to go, we're cutting this out?
Well, that has always top of mind, because tomorrow we could start making the sausage like everybody else makes it, and honestly it would cut our cost in half. I mean, in half. And that conversation has come up a lot, especially when we franchised, because we have so much pride in the way it's made, so it doesn't bother us that it costs more. We know that it costs more. Our profit margins are really slimmer on the sausage than they would be if we were putting a commercial made sausage out there. But we've had to, go through this story with the franchisees so that they understand and they have the buy-in on the quality, because it does affect their bottom line. But we know how important it is and, how much that means. Of course, we work closely with the farmers to watch the market values to make sure that comes down. We negotiate with the seasonings, and it's all natural casings. Like, all those things matter. So when corn prices increase, we really have to watch, all of that. And most people are not having to pay that close of attention to all of that stuff. But if it's made differently, then it's not stripling sausage. And that's the main part that we're not willing to negotiate on.
Yes. I was hoping you would say that.
Yes. So it's not changing anytime soon.
Now, you guys, obviously, we know this because we work with you guys closely on how process-driven you guys are. And you touched on this earlier, but can you go in a little deeper about how you have built a culture of making the processes right? Just like you have your standards, you're not going to compromise on quality. But you also have a process for how the bathrooms are cleaned. You have a process for how somebody is greeted when they walk through the door. That's very important in building your company's culture.
Right.
And y'all have included this process as part of your company culture.
Customers are first. Customer service is extremely important. And that's been the basis, that's what's trained up front as soon as somebody walks in the door on the first day, is that we're going to greet the customers. We're going to help the customers through the store, guide them through the store if they need it. If you see someone wandering around, you need to stop them and ask them what they're looking for. The meat market, of course, is full service. So that's a specialized area where they have to be not only skilled butchers, but they also have to present some sort of customer service attributes, right? They have to be able to explain to the customer what they're buying, help the customer not be intimidated by what they're asking for, that sort of thing. Because it is intimidating when you walk up and you're not very familiar and you're wanting to get a steak, but you don't know how thick you should ask for it, or if it's okay to ask for it thicker, like that kind of thing. So we want the butchers to make the customer feel very comfortable, and any request is okay, that kind of thing. So all of that's important to us.
Are you the type of person that shuts off at 7:00, or
No.
are you're going all the time?
Mm-hmm.
What's that like to live at the Goss house?
I would say it's probably overwhelming for my husband more than anybody. But no, I am. I'm a thinker and a dreamer, right? So I may not always execute everything or have the process in place. I think Blake gave me a book on how to make that happen, and I got past about chapter 1, and I ain't got the rest of it. But
chapter 2 is great.
Yeah.
It really takes off chapter 3.
So I have a lot of big ideas and a lot of dreams for the store, and there's a lot there to do and oversee and work towards and make sure it doesn't get out of hand. You don't want to grow to the point where you also lose things because you're not very good at anything at that point, right? But it's fun. We eat, breathe, sleep it. So
what do you worry about the most as a business owner, knowing that you have this many employees? Because when you're an employer like that, you're taking on a lot of families as well. But what do you worry about the most as a business owner?
I want them to know, honestly, I want them to feel appreciated, right? I worry about all the things like, do they have enough money, and, are they able to get to work? Are they eating when they need to eat, that sort of thing. But I want them to feel appreciated and know that what they're contributing is contributing to a much bigger picture. We talk about that all the time about the plant. Those guys at the plant, they go in the door at 8 a.m. in the morning, and then they're in those brick walls until they get off, at 5 o'clock or whatever. And they don't really see the store, where the store has like all the sex appeal, right? That's where all the customers come. They're getting to do the fun stuff, get to talk, whatever. And so really letting the store know what work goes in at the plant, and then letting the plant see the fruits of their labor and what that looks like. I just want them all to feel that they're contributing to something bigger, and that there's more, that they can accomplish.
What's a perfect day look like for you?
For me?
Yeah. And this doesn't have to be work related. This could be,
whatever.
Yeah.
That's a loaded question. I don't know. I guess waking the kids up and nobody fussing about going to school, that'd be a good start, right?
Pretty strong.
Amen.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah. So, no, a good day. Time with the family, but, going to the kids' sporting events and all that. It's a lot of fun. We enjoy doing that. That's not really about me, but we have a good time all together and cheering each other on. So I do like that and enjoy that.
Very cool.
What kind of music do you guys listen to?
We have a mixed bag in our house.
Spotify can't figure you out.
Yeah, no. I've got like a Hits One kid, that has to be on Hits One, and then I've got prime country kids too. So it's a little bit of a mix.
Are you following any? Do you other than this one, obviously?
Yeah.
But do you listen to podcasts? Are you into these murder mysteries? My wife loves the murder mysteries. I mean, the more mayhem, the better for her. How about you?
So I've been listening to some because I'm on the road so much now. I had to figure out something else to do with my time in the car. So I started trying to figure out the podcast situation. And
now you got to listen to your own podcast.
Yeah,
you got to listen
right.
to this episode
that's
now.
Right. So I've been listening to a few. I mean, because there's been some local ones, right, that have been interesting to listen to. And then most recently, the one we were talking about earlier, In the Red Clay, that's been a good one. That the guy that's on there is a pretty fun character to listen to. So
females love a good murder, man.
Mm-hmm.
You better be ready. Katie's plotting.
Trust me, I know.
Got the plan down.
What would you tell, let's say, 20-year-old Ashley right now if you could go back and say, hey, do this better? Well, we ask this of every guest.
Do this better?
Or just do this different. What would you say? What would you tell them if you could see you?
Well, I would first tell her you made a good choice about leaving pre-med and going to the marketing aspect. That was a good decision.
Yeah.
So that was good. What could I do better? Is that what you asked?
No, what would you tell? I mean,
what advice would you give your 20-year-old self?
We know it was only 6 years ago, so let's.
That was yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know, just that things work out the way they should, right? And that in time it all makes sense and all the hard work pays off. And, working with your family is not always the easiest, but it's very rewarding at the same time. And even though at the time my dad was the ultimate decision maker when I was 20, right? Because he was the owner of the company, he was still listening, even when he may not have seemed like he was listening. And it helped me be a better worker and stronger contributor to the company overall. It's that sort of thing.
Yeah, That's awesome. Have an awesome family. Congrats.
Thank you.
I'm very curious with all the volume at the stores. Who's the most famous person you've ever seen walk in Striplings?
Blake Cook excluded.
That's right.
Yeah.
Luke Bryan has been in a few times. And he's pretty famous.
Shout out Luke.
Yeah.
He's pretty famous.
Yeah.
I would say so.
A lot of the music, around here, all of our music guys have been in and out of the store. In the Bogart store, they'll have a lot of the UGA athletes and coaches, so that's pretty cool. That come in and out of the store. In fact, the store in Bogart does a lot of events, cooking for a lot of events for the athletic department. So that's been really cool for them.
Yeah, I remember in the news several years ago. You remember Webster?
Yes.
I remember he got arrested in Cordell.
Yeah, he got pulled over.
And that made the news. Did he ever stop in Striplings?
Sure he did.
I mean, who knows,
who
right?
hasn't?
Who knows?
I love Webster.
I'll tell you, I can just about quote every episode of Webster.
We love those Warwick police too. So.
Oh man, I'm scared of them. I slow down.
Yeah,
no kidding. And I do stop to get a sausage dog every time. I will not pass it up.
Well, you got to slow down to get to Striplings. So
That's
you know
right.
where they're going to be stationed.
Yes.
Yeah, with a sausage dog.
Absolutely.
We appreciate your time. We're so glad you came to visit
awesome.
us. Before we let you go, we love to play a game. If you've listened to a podcast, you've probably heard this, but it's a game we play. It's called First Class or Bus Pass. It's all about you as first class. If it's not for you, it's bus pass. So for Blake Cook, I would say first class or bus pass. Jalapeno. Jalapeno? What am I? My
Jalapenos?
grandma? My grandma now. Jalapeno and cheddar stripling sausage dog. First class
is it
or
cheddar?
bus?
Is it cheddar cheese?
I feel like it is.
It's cheese.
It's cheese.
It's cheese.
Cheddar cheese. Yeah.
I would say first class.
Definitely first class.
First class for sure. I mean, the texture on it's got a little spice, little heat, little kick. It's
got a little
everything.
pop when
the snap.
A little snap.
It's got the perfect snap.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's first class.
Okay.
So those are examples, and this is no, random order. We're just going to rapid fire.
The first question is,
Well, I'm about to ask you. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, Tracy Good, first class or bus pass? Don't answer that because I know where you're headed.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Vegans.
Bus pass.
Okay. You don't have a vegan section at the general store? Okay.
Hog calling competitions.
That's fun. First class, right?
What do you see there? I mean, what does
I
it
don't know,
look
but
like?
have you ever been to the fall festivals where they do the pig races? Those
Yeah.
are fantastic.
Yeah.
And they give them Oreos at the end.
Those are special pigs. I want the pig that ate the Oreos.
Right, you can tell it's something different in their feed.
You know, that's what with FFA, that's kind of the same thing, like the show pigs. You have to develop a relationship with them. They're smarter than you think.
Oh, yeah, like a
And,
3-year-old, right?
Yeah. And my son uses like marshmallows and Nutter Butters a lot of times to create that relationship.
That's what Katie does with me.
Yes, feed you marshmallows and Nutter Butters. I like it.
First class or bus pass, pickled pig's feet.
Bus pass.
Have you ever tried it?
I'm scared to.
Do you sell
I
them?
do.
You sell
It's
them?
probably like gelatinous. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
Ugh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a texture thing.
But y'all do sell
but we
them.
do. I mean, we have people. You know, we live in South Georgia, and
Yeah.
a lot of people use those parts to make like Brunswick stew, and that's used to make souse meat, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we have ladies that they know that our truck delivers on whatever day, and that we'll have the pig feet and hog heads and all that, you know, and they're there to get them.
Last one,
No, you.
grocery store feet. Do y'all have a no shirt, no shoes
We
policy?
do.
No service.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Especially at the lake, because we've
Man.
seen it all. But yes, you're supposed to have on shoes.
If I had $1
Supposed to.
for
Yeah.
every time I've been kicked out of a stripling. But it's
Yeah.
usually because I'm walking out with mass quantity.
Man, I remember being like 7 and zipping
yeah.
around Piggly Wiggly.
No shoes.
No
Grocery
shoes.
store feet.
I didn't care.
No, he still doesn't.
But everyone is welcome at Stripling Sausage. You've never sausage a place.
That's right. That's right.
Have you ever saw such a place?
Have you ever seen?
Thank you for your time. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thanks for having
Ashley.
me. This
Have
was
a good day.
fun.
A lot of fun.
To find out about all the things that are going on over at Ashley Goss's store, Striplings, visit them at striplings.com. That's striplings.com, or follow them on social media. Today's show is brought to you in part by Due Process. Standardize, onboard, and optimize. Click or call today to see how we can help take your business to the next level. DueProcessUSA.com. Process is Everything is a production of the Levy Studios. It's the right thing to do. Visit thelevystudios.com for more information. Subscribe to Process is Everything wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Process is everything.